watching me from the depths below. A haunted grave where shadows grow. Deadpit is watching me with eyes so cold. They're watching me now.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to another edition of DEADPIT is watching. I'm the Creepy Kentuckian.
And I'm Uncle Bill. Welcome to this fun-filled edition. It's going to be jam-packed. It's going to be squished in there, like pushed in, jammed in as hard as we can jam it in with as many titles as we've got.
30 episodes down, Uncle Bill. 30 episodes in like a year and a half. Believe that? We've reviewed all kinds of stuff. And we got possibly the biggest episode tonight on DEADPIT is watching. I'm going to go ahead and kick it off. Get this party started up in here. You know what I'm saying? Because we've got this box set from Severin Films. I had it for a little while. I was meaning to watch it for a little while, longer than that. But this is Suzzanna, the Empress of Darkness. Uncle Bill, this is huge. 5 terrifying films, plus an award-winning documentary. Now, Severin, our good friends over there, and David Gregory are known for doing sets like this. This is stuff that most people have never heard of, or there's a section of people that act like that they have heard of it, possibly, after it's announced. But what this is, 6 films on 3 Blu-rays. You want to know who Suzzanna is, Uncle Bill?
She's that woman from that Toto song. Me,
Suzzanna.
Suzzanna, yeah.
She is also Indonesia's reigning horror queen.
Hell yeah.
It's kind of like Indonesia's Boris Karloff, right? So she did a series of movies, and this box set features some of them, just some, because evidently in Indonesia, there's like a big thing for B movies. There's a big thing for horror movies, and these are like both combined. So in this one, the movies are from 1991, packed with the forces of darkness.
Darkness, yeah.
This one is directed by Siswaro Putra. Yeah. And it does involve Suzzanna's entire family, including her, being murdered for hire. And she comes back as a vengeful ghost, right? That's kind of a running theme, and that's kind of what she does in movies. In White Crocodile Queen from 1988, it's about a crocodile hunter who steals a magical amulet that allows the handler to subdue a ferocious crocodile. Sounds like a good one.
That sounds like right up my alley, Wolf.
And the Crocodile Queen is
Crocodile Queen.
after the guy is killed, the Crocodile Queen, played by Suzzanna, is possessed by the fallen crocodile teacher or whatever.
Listen, the Crocodile Queen sounds like a Confederate Railroad song.
Come on, she's a crocodile queen. You've got Malam Satu Suro, which that one never made it to America, evidently, from 1988. After a vengeful spirit is given a second chance to live a normal life, her family is assaulted and compelled to seek revenge. Also, Kwalon Friday Night, boys. That's like the Indonesia wrestling show. Kwalon Friday Night from 1986. A mentally unstable author is drawn to an old house and moves there to finish her latest novel, only to find that it's been inhabited by a ghost, evidently played by Suzzanna, because that's kind of her thing. The last, there's like one final movie that she made briefly before she passed away called The Ghost Bambalance. I would only, yeah, from 2008. It was Susanna's last movie. It's basically a bonus feature on here because evidently it's not much. But there is a documentary, a feature length documentary that David Gregory did on Suzzanna, which I did check the entire thing out. It's very well done. Beautiful footage shot on location in Indonesia as well. And kind of just tells her story. She started as a famous singer and got into cult films and everything, and had kind of a some questionable stuff that happened throughout her career. And it's interesting for sure. And this is like some of the stuff that's seen in as like the B-roll footage in this is like fucking hilarious, man. Like there's a shot of a teddy bear like curb stomping this dude, and it's very gory and everything. Another shot of like a real cat jumping out of a corpse and like going, ah! It's legit. It's a real cat that they stuck in like this. I just love shit like that. But yeah, these each one of these has special features on it, man. Severin always goes balls to the wall, balls deep with these collections of strange releases, and they're continuing to do so because they're doing the disco exploitation thing with the what is it, John
Travolta, yeah,
but
with a guy that looks identical to John Travolta. That's so like eerily similar. It's kind of insane.
I can't wait. But Suzzanna, I actually recommend it if you're into really like hokey, goofy movies. This one was a lot of fun. But yeah, it's Indonesian. It's all subtitled and everything too, so just keep that in mind. That is out now from Severin Film.
Hell yeah! You ready to talk about the best titled film that we have this week?
Yes, I was born ready.
We're gonna be talking about Blood Bitch, baby.
Ooh, baby, it's Blood Bitch.
Blood Bitch. It's a Donald Farmer film. Now listen, let me tell you something. That cover's killer for one thing. But Donald Farmer has been doing these movies for 50 years. I'm not even exaggerating that either.
Wow.
50 years now. He's been doing independent, low budget movies. So I mean, there's something to be said about that. This movie, I watched this today, and it brought me back to a time period like back in 2004 or 5 when we, would watch independent, no budget movies. And it looks like it was filmed in 2005, if I'm being honest. It's the same.
But this is a new one.
Yes, it's 2025, but it looks like it was made 20 years ago. I think they're using the same technology. I don't know if that's purposeful or like not, but it's true. This centers around the endless age-old tale of Countess Bathory, who I believe is played by Jessa Flux in this movie. And
Is she an
she's
adult entertainer?
Maybe.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure. But she's made a deal with the devil, as they do, for eternal youth. But she has to provide him with a vessel, if you will, for him to have a baby. So that is the co-star of the film, is the vessel in this case. And so she basically kidnaps this woman, and it's a Rosemary's baby kind of situation. It's got big old boobies in it. It's got some blood. it's just acting. I don't if you want to call that acting. What I don't know what's going on exactly, but it's like, when we were starting in movies or when we were in movies, same kind of thing.
Well, they probably acting better than we did, though. We give them a little bit of credit. We probably did way worse of a job than Darth Lux or whatever her name is.
Yeah, it's similar. Anyway, there's no budget. I guess there never really is really for movies like that or Donald Farmer movies, but I don't know. People like Tim Gross are going to love movies like this, so it really doesn't matter. It has its own built-in audience and built-on audience, pile-on audience.
This one was a surprise for us because like it just kind of showed up, and I think MVD was doing some distributing on this one, so I don't know a whole lot of. I mean, Donald Farmer has been making movies for a long time. I definitely know that. I recognize the name.
Yeah. I mean, I like the guy. Super nice guy. Like, he was a guy that I wrote to back in the day, and like he signed a bunch of shit and seemed like really nice. But
That's when you're pen pal with Victor Salva too, right?
right, that same time period. But this movie, I don't know. But this is from Bloodsick Productions.
It's blood, bitch, baby. You gotta love it.
Oh, it's Blood Bitch.
It's a great cover. So the next one that I got, of course, it's from Arrow Video. So you know what that means, right?
Check
and this
this.
was a surprise. This was a total shocker, total surprise. Because I didn't know what this movie was. I knew the people that were in it, the people that made it, and everything, but I'd never seen it. Blue Thunder from 1983. It's co-written by Dan O'Bannon, directed by John Badham, same guy that did War Games and Short Circuit, and it's got pretty much an all-star cast of people. You've got Roy Schreider is in it, Warren Oates, Daniel Stern, very young Daniel Stern, and our favorite asshole in movies, Malcolm McDowell. He's in it.
Mm.
And this one it's kind of like espionage cop, like drama with action elements, with crazy stunts and everything that you would never see today. Everything would be done in CG today. But in this movie, Scheider plays police officer pilot Frank Murphy. His partner is Daniel Stern's character, Lyman Good. They're picked to test this new high-performance helicopter called Blue Thunder. Yeah. You just imagine, like, Don LaFontaine back in the day. They're in the cockpit of Blue Thunder.
Never has a cockpit been so full.
Anyway, they're at the Blue Thunder demonstration show. Murphy's there to see what this is capable of. It's like almost like a war machine, man. They've got machine guns and everything attached to the front of it. It's very dangerous. They're trusting him with a lot of people's lives by even controlling this thing. And, he discovers what the machine's capable of and discovers that his old buddy from Nam, his nemesis, if you will, is the lead pilot over the program, Colonel Cochran. Not from Halloween 3. No, This is a different Colonel Cochran. This might have been his brother, played by Malcolm McDowell. And yeah, they still kind of have issues from years earlier. But anyway, while they're kind of testing out Blue Thunder, they hear some things that they weren't supposed to hear. Part of Blue Thunder is it's almost like Superman. You can see through things, you can hear things from a long distance away. And they kind of wanted to destroy all of the, because I guess they have like a black box or whatever that has all the info in it. They're wanting to get that box to destroy it and ultimately kill, they're after Schrader and Daniel Stern in this movie, and it kind of goes from there. There is some, towards the end of this movie, an unreal amount of like stunt work with those helicopters that you would never see today. They would never, ever attempt shit like that in 2026, 2025, 2026. But the real, I think the real bonus of this movie, though, is the transfer on this thing from Arrow Video. This is a 4K. I was like astonished. Like, I don't know if I haven't seen any other reviews from this, but this is demo quality. Most of this movie looks brand new. I don't know if it's where maybe they haven't re-released this movie as much as other movies and handled it, or I don't know how that works. But this is a beautifully made movie. Again, I said the director John Badham, who Short Circuit's another one. I would love to see one of these companies do Short Circuit. I've always been a big fan of that one too. But yeah, this is a limited edition treatment they're doing. This is a new 4K restoration of the original negative. We do know that. And lots of special features, interviews, archival features. I think they have a brand new interview on there with Malcolm McDowell, oddly enough. And some archival stuff and trailers and image galleries and all that good stuff. So Arrow Video, very rarely do they disappoint, and they didn't with this one. Had you ever seen this movie before?
No, I've never seen it. I was curious, like, what you think about Roy Scheider just in general, because like he's been in a lot of movies that I've seen recently or more recently, and big actor in the 70s, 80s, like early 80s. How do you think he is as like a leading man?
I think he's fine. I think that unfortunately with him, like Jaws kind of typecast him. Like, I don't think he ever, after Jaws, he had a hard time, I think, because everybody always saw him as Brody, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even sure when he did like all that jazz and that stuff. Like, had to be after that, I guess.
Yeah, this was the last movie that Warren Oates ever did too. I think he had passed away shortly after they filmed this movie. And he's not got a gigantic role in it, but it's a pretty damn good movie. Actually, I was pleasantly surprised with it, and the 4K is outstanding. So if you're a fan of this movie and you want to see the best version of it, this version's never going to be topped.
So there you go. I'll tell you a movie that's not a very great movie though. Fungicide.
Ooh,
It's Fungicide. Look at
it's
that
a
little
lot of
thing.
fun.
No, it's mostly Jicide.
It's a great cover though. That's the thing about Visual Vengeance.
Well, the thing
they're
about
turd
Visual
shiners.
Vengeance is, yeah, it's all about the packaging and the shit in it. Like, it's got one of the coolest, like when you open it, like it's got all those stickers and shit in it. It's got a little pack of like mushroom shit.
They do that quite a bit, yeah.
Anyway, the movie itself is pure trash.
Well, I guess we're going to do like a whole plethora of Visual Vengeance titles. Dude, like, how do they keep releasing all this stuff?
I have no idea, but I'll say this.
Where do they get these movies?
I will say this.
Are they doing like me and just like picking up random blank tapes at like Goodwill and
probably
putting this stuff out?
Like, this one and Suburban Sasquatch are my two favorites. And like, if I can get any enjoyment out of films like this for like the sheer craziness of how low budget they are and some of the shit in it, then it would be this one and Suburban Sasquatch. Like those would be the two like I would go to. So this one is freaking hilarious because about 25% of it is Windows Movie Maker. And I'm not exaggerating.
Well, we
when I
kind
say
of have
exactly.
history with this movie too. We need to mention.
Yeah, like I think this is one of the first movies, if not the first movie that we reviewed.
It's one of the very
the
early
show.
ones. I don't know if it was the first, but yeah, this.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'm almost positive that I still have that DVD-R somewhere.
Yeah. But I mean, it's the story of a bunch of killer mushrooms.
How do you remaster something like that?
You don't really, because like it's just like a shot on video film and you can't really remaster. As a matter of fact, it says, get this is killer. Director approved SD transfer from the original tape.
Was it on a? Yeah, it was on a tape. Okay.
It's an SD transfer of the tape elements. I like this movie though, man, because they don't even attempt to make it look, worth a shit or anything. Like it's just half of it is little puppet mushroom creatures with teeth. And then the other half of it is literally like CG made on Windows Movie Maker, which just like you can see the little mushrooms like moving around in slow motion, like almost like Star Fox. Like that's how it looks.
What was the year on that one? It was like early 2000s, right?
Yeah, 2002.
Okay.
I get a kick out of this movie though. If you really wanted to be like introducing somebody into like micro budget, indie films, I would definitely take this one and Suburban Sasquatch and let that be like the introduction. And this includes the riff tracks version of the movie too, which apparently that exists.
Okay.
As well as a bunch of commentaries and other stuff. But that's Fungicide. Fungicide.
Real quick, because we want to go through these. We've got a lot of stuff to take a look at. So I've got 3 more Visual Vengeance we're going to go through quickly here. And this one just kind of tickled me because of the cover. And it probably will forever stay in my collection just because of the cover. It is Vampire Time Travelers. Look at that. Bite her in the butt. That's just the touch of class.
Looks amazing.
Vampire Time Travelers from 1998. It's a comedy / horror movie. Director Les Cycli. It's kind of like during an interesting era that was a transition from tape to digital. It's that look. Right. And I mean, this is a simple story. 4 college girls battle vampires together, and supernatural forces when they're trying to pledge for this strange sorority, and there's butt biting sequence in this. I think that they edited this. I was looking this up. That the nudity that was in this, maybe the girls that were in it were like, hey, you can put it out, but cover up our titties or whatever. We don't want that shown. So they edited this, oddly enough. So there's no nudity in this, even though you got the blood biting ladies. And continuing on.
The blood biters.
Saurians from 1994. This is a Super 8mm from Mark Polonia, the guy that brought us such classics as Splatter Farm, Feeders, and Hellspawn. We remember all those. Those are great. And this was his very ambitious dinosaur action adventure sci-fi movie. It came out in 1994. So guess what he was really trying to pay homage to then? Steven Spielberg's big budget, and this is kind of like the no budget version of Jurassic Park. basically. In fact, I'll showcase the poster. That's the original poster art of Saurians. And by the way, I don't know if they're getting their slip covers made from the same people that's doing Terror Visions. But yeah, they're very tight.
Yeah, tightly grasp that.
Oh, there's a fun little bonus in this too. That's a actual piece of the Super 8mm film. That's very tiny. You see how small it is?
Yeah.
That's about as small as your little wiener.
Buddy, listen. You don't talk about me.
All right, so we'll move on from Saurians after this, but this was the poster art.
Sorry ass.
The age of dinosaurs are reborn. So yeah, there's stop animation, like stop motion stuff. It is what it is. That one's from 1994. And the last one that we've got is from the year 2000.
Oh, shit.
From Jeff Leroy, who I know we've reviewed some of Jeff Leroy's stuff before. This is another one that they have come that's been out recently, The Screaming.
Oh.
And this one tells a story of broke college student Bob, who decides to rent a room from this beautiful lady by the name of Crystal, and soon learns of her bizarre cult-like church that's called Crystalnetics. Right? Crystalnetics.
Okay.
And there's a detective that comes along and says that the cult has had a lot of mysterious deaths involved in it. Right? And, you know, Bob kind of slowly learns of the dark side of Crystalnetics and why he shouldn't have got involved with it. And it kind of goes from there. It's not very good.
The dark side of Crystal Medics.
This one does come with the CD soundtrack, though, so you can blast that shit and listen to it in downtown Prestonsburg. That's one thing that everybody was wanting to out of this movie was the great soundtrack for sure. The Screaming. Man.
Screaming.
Look, these movies, I'll give Wild Eye Releasing and Visual Vengeance credit. They're releasing this stuff that nobody else would dare touch. And they're doing full-fledged, like, boutique editions of these movies. Are these the best movies that I've ever seen? No. They're very close to some of the worst movies I've ever seen. But these releases, if you're a fan of shot on video, no budget movies from this era, which it would be this would be a great documentary for like David Gregory or one of those guys to do. The story of these films, movies at the time were starting to be very affordably done, right? And there were a lot more of them with the video stuff and even more in the digital era. So, but yeah, all of these are out now from Visual Vengeance. You can go to wildeyemovies.com and check them all out. They do a fantastic job with these releases, like them or not. All of them, the artwork and stuff is very eye-catching, looks great and all that. And they try to include little bonuses and stuff in there too, so I kind of appreciate that.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, let's do a Kino one. You ready?
Yeah, we got plenty of Kino movies as always, for sure.
This is a really underrated Charles Bronson movie that I had seen. I think Kino released the Blu-ray of this too. This is the 4K of Charles Bronson's 10 to Midnight, which is an amazing little film that is not really like any of his other films. And, you know, he really got pigeonholed there for a long time in doing that, you know, Death Wish kind of style. But in this one, he plays a cop.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part about this movie, by far to me, is the heel in it, the guy that plays the serial killer. The guy's name is Gene Davis. He was also in Cruising. But and that's the story. So this guy, and this is the part that like really sets the movie up for you. Movie centers around a series of killings, and in this series of killings, the killer gets butt ass naked and stabs and or strangles like his victims. Are always female. They're always a certain age, a certain type. I think they were trying to play off of the Bundy thing, and um the kind of motivation behind it is that like he's this guy who's got this menial kind of job. He can't get anybody to like go on a date. He's too fucking weird, and he just targets these women, like some of them from his job, some of them from other places that he sees that like won't really have anything to do with him, and then ends up trying to kill them or killing them. Um, and of course, one of the people that he targets and tries to kill is Chuck's daughter. So he's got to step in and plant some evidence to try to get him, put behind bars, but he gets found out and then he gets fired, and then guy goes on a killing spree, yada yada yada. The supporting cast of this movie is amazing though. You got Andrew Stevens from every Cinemax movie you've ever seen. Cinemax After Dark movie you've ever seen.
Oh yeah, we need the
Jeffrey
Night Eyes
Lewis.
films out on 4K.
Yeah. Jeffrey Lewis, Wilford Brimley's in this.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. It's incredibly well made, man.
What year was
director,
10 to Midnight? Was that in the mid 80s?
Had to be 83. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, at this point in time, Charles Bronson was pretty much well defined. You knew what type of movie you're getting with Charles Bronson.
To give you an idea, though, like the killer in this is very much like what Patrick Bateman would end up being. Same kind of idea, really. And then, so if you can just imagine, like, Charles Bronson versus American Psycho, that's kind of what this movie is.
Very cool.
You got an audio commentary. You got several audio commentaries. You got an interview with Andrew Stevens, of course. You got an interview with Robert Lyons, interview with the actress Jenna Thomasina. Yeah, it's a great movie. This is a great disc. In terms of picture quality and things like that, it's hard for me to gauge these movies because I've seen them on Blu-ray, and like I thought it was a really good transfer. I didn't have any issues with it or anything like that. It's a Dolby Vision Master from the 4K of the 35 millimeter. So how bad can it really be? Well, let's think about it.
And that's that's like one of the closest ones he did to like a horror movie, right? Pretty much.
I was thinking that like this is probably like his closest thing to being like an actual straight up horror film. Just like when we're thinking about Chuck Norris. He did the movie too. Shit, the name's escaping me now, of course. That was Silent Rage.
Silent Rage.
That's his that's his closest thing. It's kind of a similar deal too, really.
Close to around the same time frame too. And here's a little rule that I have when it comes to screeners. And we're lucky that a lot of these studios will send us copies of this stuff to review. One of my rules is whenever a Charles Bronson movie is available, I request it. I don't care what it is, if I've heard of it, if I've not heard of it, because that's almost guarantee success. That's a good movie, right? And this is one that I took a chance on, man, because this one, also coming out from Kino, also in 4K, is Rider on the Rain. It's his French movie. This is a French-made film from 1970. This was before Bronson was really kind of defined. Like, I think he was doing more or less Westerns straight out at this time. as an actor before he got the Death Wish role, and kind of he rode that out throughout the rest of his career for about 30 years after that. But this one's a little bit different, directed by Rene Clement, and it's French. Right. The interesting thing too is on this, you think it's just subtitles usually for a French version versus American version. No, I mean, this director was very anal about this. So, aside from Charles Bronson, all the actors and actresses were French. So, they filmed pretty much an entirely different movie in French. And both movies are on, you got 2 discs on this. They got remastered 4Ks of both versions, and they are 2 separate versions of the movie, which is, that's crazy. That hasn't been done very much that I can recall. But anyway, the lead in this, a beautiful French lady living in the south of France. She eating snails, Uncle. What do they eat over at France? French fries, snails.
Yeah, French fries and snails is it.
She is brutally attacked and sexually assaulted by a masked intruder. And after the incident, the lady is like still getting over it. She's like, oh my God, I have been, this guy just splooged all up in me. I don't know who the hell he is. What the hell's going on? It's the early 70s. This shouldn't be happening to me in France. But the guy is still in her apartment, right? And she basically takes a shotgun to him, shoots him dead. And without calling the authorities or anything, decides, I'm just going to get rid of this motherfucker. I'm going to throw his ass down a cliff, and he's going to be effed in the A. He's already dead. She's just kind of disposing of the body.
Mm-hmm.
Rolls him off a cliff without a second thought. And the girl's name is Nicole. She kind of just wants to forget all about the incident, right? And soon thereafter, though, an American investigator, Dobbs, played by, of course, Charles Bronson, shows up and begins questioning her about that night. And it's kind of like locally, this dude that he was a crazy man, loose and about and everything. And they're looking for him. They don't know what's happened, but Dobbs seems to know. It's kind of like a cat and mouse thing with Nicole and Dobbs throughout most of the rest of the movie. It's almost getting to where he's harassing her and fucking with her to the point that she's going nuts, right? This is kind of like a stylish noir thriller of that period, I would say. It's very slow. It's very French. It's not your typical. This is a very well-loved movie, though, by the way. Like, from what I found out, people this was like a big deal when it came out, evidently. And I did also a little fun tidbit for you. This movie was the inspiration for the Doors song Riders on the Storm.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah.
Is this just a really weird coincidence for those both to be named that?
No, evidently they'd seen this movie, right? And wasn't Jim Morrison living in France towards the end of his, yeah.
He did.
I think it's a very well-made movie. It's beautifully shot. The 4K pops. It's a different sort of role for Charles Bronson. So if you're looking, for that vigilante, ruthless motherfucker, you're not getting it with this one. This was before he was really known as that. But man, I would recommend this one to pretty much anybody. It's a slow burn though. It's almost 2 hours long. It's mainly French. I mean, it's in English, but it's made by a bunch of French people. So you know how artsy and fartsy they can get over there, right?
Oh yeah.
But Kino did an excellent job with this. There are some special features on here to talk about. A couple of different audio commentaries with film historians like Howard S. Berger, Steve Mitchell, and Nathaniel Thompson, who did the American cut. and Alexandra Heller Nicholas and Josh Nelson that did the French cut. And the American cut is 114 minutes. The French cut is 120 minutes. It's pretty cool that they went all out for this, did both versions, both in 4K. So these are out now, both of them in one collection from Kino Lorber. It is part of their Studio Classics line. Get on that shit.
Holy shit. All right, let's stay with Kino. One of my favorite comedies of all time. Regardless of, era or content or anything, this is one of my favorites. Don't know why, it just is. This is the 4K edition of The Great Outdoors with Dan Aykroyd, John Candy, Annette Bening's in this.
That was an odd role for her, wasn't it?
It was very, very odd for her to be in this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always love this cover too. Like, what a great cover.
Yeah, there was a magazine at the time too. Like, if you look at the original poster art,
Yeah.
which that is kind of the original poster art, but it looks like a magazine totally. The original poster, it's based on the magazine, The Great Outdoors.
So, man, this movie's so good. Like, it basically just, there's not a whole lot of a plot here. It's John Candy. He goes out, he wants to take his family on this camping adventure because, like, his dad took him on these, camping trips when he was a kid. So they end up going back to the spot where they used to go when he was a kid. And of course, like, Dan Aykroyd shows up. He's not supposed to be there or anything like that. But he shows up with his wife, who's played by Annette Bening. I cannot remember her name in this off the top of my head. But
And they've got the twins. Right?
they've got the freaking, which is such a weird part of this movie to go back and look at, because they're like two redheaded twins, and they're just kind of playing them off like they're the Shining twins or something.
Right.
Like they're just supposed to be really weird, creepy, like little kids, but they're really normal. They don't really do anything. They just kind of like sit there.
They're basically props. They don't do
Yeah.
much of-
They
I
don't
mean, there
speak.
is one plot point towards the end, I think, with them, but other than that,
Yeah. And so really what it is just an excuse to have John Candy like go through a bunch of different scenarios, like funny scenarios. Like, so there's one where, he's got to fight off this bear that's been there since he was a kid, and there's this old legend of this bear. This guy's like the fur on its ass shaved off by a shotgun blast, and he's got to like, go up against it. Then there's the one where he's got to like, he goes into a restaurant and he has to eat like this 96-ounce steak called the old 96er.
including the fat and the gristle.
Including the fat and the gristle. That's a great scene, man. And yeah, just there's like a skiing scene and shit like that. Just all these different kind of scenarios just to put John Candy in these scenarios. He was like one of the best comedic actors of that era, man. And he's very like understated, meaning like he doesn't act like big like Jim Carrey or something like that. Like he's just
the regular guy that pulls off and just has the best facial expressions and the acting and responses. And essentially, like this movie and Summer Rental's another one where this is his movie ultimately at the end. Without John Candy in this movie, it doesn't work at all.
Exactly. It's built really for him, I think.
Yeah.
It's not really a Dan Aykroyd movie at all. Like he's fine in it. Like he plays like a rich, well, he's supposed to be rich, but he's kind of
he's acting like he's rich, like most people in the real world.
Yeah, and he's fine in that role, but like really this is a John Candy movie. And like the point of the movie is really like he's the everyman character. That's what his characters always are too. Like these guys that are just regular guys that can overcome something. and it's always a family movie in these two. There's always something to do with family associated with John Candy, who by all like reports is one of the nicest, was one of the nicest, most humble guys like ever.
Yeah, the documentary on him is really good that they did, and man, like his run of movies there for that 10-year period is just insane. And really, his career was 10 years, right? All those movies
Yeah.
that he gave us was pretty much a 10-year gap there, and after that he passed away. But yeah, man, this is one of my favorites for sure. I've seen this movie along with Summer Rental. Like those are the two big ones for me. Numerous times. I do recall watching this one in the theater as a kid because there was a part. If I were to watch the movie again, I could tell you. And there was a part where the film strip broke in the theater, and they kept rewinding this one scene over again. And I was like, what the? Like, I don't know what they were doing, like rewinding the spool or however they do it. And I always remembered that. But yeah, Great Outdoors is one of my favorite comedy movies of all time for sure.
Here's the weird thing about it too. Like they would never make a movie like this now. Like movies like this don't even exist anymore. You never just have like a comedy like this where like a guy goes on vacation or something like that and is with his family. Like they don't. When's the last time you ever even heard of a movie like that being made?
No,
It just doesn't
can't do
exist. But I guess the big special feature on this that people would probably care about is it's got audio commentary with the director. Other than that, it's just a couple of other audio commentaries by random film historians. But yeah, this is the 4K. Love this movie. Always watch this movie. If this movie came on right now, I would probably watch it. Like that's how good this movie is. So big thanks to Kino for bringing this out in 4K and Blu-ray.
No doubt, man. Great addition. Now, this is going to be an interesting one because Uncle Bill's a big fan of this film, this director. And I'm not. I mean, I don't hate him or anything, but I'm not a fan. Like I don't watch all of his movies. I've seen a couple of them. And I was like, yeah, this will be fun to watch this one and kind of do a review with you on this because I know that this is one of his more well-known movies, and it's part of this box set here, After Dark Neo Noir Cinema Collection 4 from Imprint, where they've got Unlawful Entry, The Getaway, Mulholland Falls, Freeway, City of Industry, and the movie that we're going to be reviewing tonight, Wild at Heart, from director David Lynch with Nicolas Cage and Laura Dern, who they have good chemistry in this. I guess they had to because there's a lot of fucking in this movie. So how do we review a movie like this, Uncle Bill? Let's talk about it. What do we got?
Well, I kind of feel like, let me check the date on something real quick because I want to get these dates right and make sure that.
Well, this was 1990 is when this movie came out.
So here's the thing here's the way I would kind of like say this movie. This is to me like True Romance before Tarantino wrote True Romance.
Look, I was thinking the same thing. American Born Killer, or what was it called? Natural Born Killers.
Natural Born Killers. Yeah.
Kind of the same thing with less, insanity, of course. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe more insanity, but not as much violence.
Way. Yeah.
Yeah, not as much violence.
There's a lot of comparisons to like this movie and True Romance and Natural Born Killers, like because the Elvis fascination is in both True Romance.
The Wizard of Oz shit that's in this too.
Yeah.
Dude, like, let me tell you what this movie's like, though, watching it, because I'd never seen it before, watching it for the
I'm
first
curious.
time.
I've got to know your opinion on this because it's so like.
So here's my take on this, and we'll talk about what little plot there is in this that I can decipher.
Yeah.
This is like trying to watch a movie half asleep. And like, you're like, well, was this really in this movie? Or like, I felt like I was in a daze while I was watching this movie. The story
Yeah,
is,
that's
of course,
pretty much every David Lynch movie, really.
the story in this, Nicolas Cage and Laura Dern, who they both do a fantastic job in this, by the way. And I haven't seen too many movies that I thought Laura Dern was actually good in. Wasn't she in that shitty movie Jurassic Park?
Yep.
She sucked in that. But Sailor and Lula is the characters' names in this. Two youngsters that are in love, and Lula's mom hates Sailor. And who's playing the mom? It's some famous actress. I can't remember her name. She's in this too. But anyway, she's pretty much playing the Wicked Witch in this movie, wouldn't you say?
It's Diane Ladd.
Diane
Yeah.
Ladd. Okay.
Yeah, she is.
So she kind of hires somebody to kill Sailor. That's how much she hates him. But Sailor ends up killing the guy in self-defense and has to go to jail for the first time for a couple of years. Gets released, and they get back together and decide to kind of elope and go out of state, and just crazy fucking shit starts happening to them. Like, and it's a road movie. It's a weird drama. They're talking about some of their, exploits in the past, and they fuck a lot. They fuck like rabbits. They talk about that quite a bit in it.
I've got to know though what your thought about William Dafoe in this was.
He's the best in it. Like, I wrote, I think that this is, that he was the most memorable character in it, in my opinion. And what was his name in it? Harry Dean Stanton's also in this too.
Yeah, Harry Dean Stanton's in it.
Yeah. But William Dafoe's character,
William Dafoe is Bobby Peru.
Bobby Peru. Fuck like a bunny, right? And there's this memorable scene with him and Laura Dern towards the end of the movie. And there is some weird, just hilarious shit just thrown out in this movie too. Great ensemble cast here though. Crispin Glover's also briefly in this. It's cool to see him in this. Sherilyn Fenn is briefly in this. I think David Lynch had like a thing for her. She was in a lot of his stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he always had a weird kind of thing with like the looks of certain actresses, like that Madchen Amick, like he had a thing for her for a while, and Naomi Watts, Laura Dern was in several of his movies. He just had a particular like,
dude, a young Sherilyn Fenn is very hard to beat though. Holy shit. Like, do you remember, wasn't she in Just One of the Guys as well? Like, she was crazy young in that.
Did you watch this with Sarah?
I did, but Sarah was halfway paying attention. She was talking about how much they were, like, the only thing that she was saying is how much they were fucking in it or whatever.
There's no way she's watching this movie straight through. Like, there's just no fucking way. It's too weird.
It is very odd. And it is, look, I enjoyed it for what it was, but a lot of it didn't make any sense. It was very out there for me. It was, I didn't get it, evidently. There's one scene that was hilarious, though, where they have that big shootout or something like that at the end of it. And one of the old man's hands gets blown off and a dog fucking grabs that.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
I enjoyed that. And then they have like the Glinda the Good Witch at the end out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
That's the thing though, man, that makes David Lynch's films like so fucking weird but unique is like he really didn't like give a shit. He was just like putting visuals and things like that and like these weird, surreal, dream kind of like scenes into these movies that just they stick with you for a really long time, and they don't make any fucking sense, but they still like just like lurk around your mind even
Mhm.
after you've watched the movie. So I
The
I agree. Like, and most of his movies are not. They don't make sense in a narrative way. They don't like follow a straightforward plot whatsoever. But Wild at Heart is actually one of my favorite movies of his because I think Nicolas Cage is amazing in it. I think that William Dafoe is amazing in it. Pretty much everybody in the cast like does a great job, in my opinion.
there's the scene too where I wrote this part down where like he's got that big fascination with Elvis Presley, right?
Right.
And he and Laura Dern's character are in this bar where this band's playing like pretty much thrash metal.
Yep.
And then just out of nowhere, he busts out doing like this Elvis
Yep.
song or something with the band and they start playing it and shit. I
Yeah,
was like, this shit is just, what the hell, man?
That'd be killer if Slayer did that.
But this is an interesting one, man, for sure. This is part of that neo noir collection, and I'm sure they'll release it by itself too. Now, this is just a Blu-ray though, so there is a couple, or there's one 4K in this set, which was unlawful entry, and the rest of them are Blu-rays. But they're all region free, so I did check that out. You can play them on any. That's the interesting thing about Imprint is they somehow get away with that. I don't know. They're one of the only companies that does that on Blu-ray. But
I'm glad you watched it though. I feel like that's
yeah, great looking Blu-ray.
yeah.
Weird fucking movie. Lots of special features on this too. Which just looking the set, this set is gigantic, and we may continue to go on through some more of the titles on it. But interesting array of movies in this, and this is one I definitely wanted to do a review of on the show. So check it out.
All right. So I guess I'll do we'll do one of these Vision ones. This one is a movie that never ever gets talked about anymore, but like I think is one of my favorites, also one of Savannah's favorites, like in terms of Stephen King adaptations. It's one that's mostly forgotten now, but I still think holds up. This is 1408, and this is like the cool lenticular cover that actually moves with Samuel L. Jackson, John Cusack.
That's killer.
So I mean, this is a pretty basic story for this film. This guy, John Cusack, he was a writer of, he wrote like novels and things like that at first, but then like he couldn't make any money or he never could break through with that. So he became what is essentially like he would write reviews of haunted places, and that's his gimmick. So he became kind of semi-famous for doing that, and like his haunted, books would sell to people that wanted to like believe that and like go and stay in places and things like that. So the movie kind of starts out with him like going to this hotel and it's supposed to be haunted, and he's just kind of like laying there taking notes and shit, and nothing really happens. Until one day he hears about this place called the Dolphin Hotel, which there's this one particular room, 1408, that's supposed to be haunted. And just like any other, time, he goes and he wants to investigate it for his book. So this is where Samuel L. Jackson comes in because he is kind of like the head of this hotel, and he tries to talk him out of staying in this place because he's like, listen, like it's really haunted, and like so many people have died in there. There's been so many suicides, so many accidents, things like that. Like, do not stay in this room. But finally, like John Cusack, kind of forces his way into staying in this room. And the room itself is like the real kind of star of the movie, because like it just like one thing after another starts to happen. And another part about the movie that I guess is important for the story is like his character has lost his daughter at a very young age. And when I saw this in this movie, man, it kind of freaked me out because it like taps into like a very real fear of anybody that's ever had kids is like that your kid will pass away. And the room, like, there's scenes in it where, like his daughter shows up in the room and like he's holding her, and then as he's holding her, she like turns to ashes.
Mhm.
Because essentially the plot is like the room tries to drive you crazy
Right.
and cause you to like kill yourself.
Was this a later Stephen King story or novel or whatever? I think it was. I
I don't
think it
know.
was.
Like I don't know where it fits into like the chronology here.
I think it was like fairly new, if I'm not mistaken. But
I mean, that would make sense.
I
Let's
think
see, this
Steve.
movie came out 2007.
Yeah, I think this was maybe late '90s, early 2000s, or something like that. Because I think like Hollywood at the time was just in a rush to get every Stephen King story out that they could. And I think, unfortunately, 1408 is one of those ones that's actually really good, but it was around a time when they were releasing way too much shit, and it kind of gets lumped in with it.
Well, another thing about this movie that's always confused the dog shit out of people, and probably like one of the things that makes it to this day not as well known, is the fact it had two separate endings, and depending on where you saw it or how you saw it, I guess I should say, like you saw one ending or the other. The theatrical ending, I don't know if I want to say this to give it away or not. I don't think I will. But let's just say like one ending is significantly brighter and cheerier than the other ending. And so if you saw the director's cut / like some of the home media version of it, then you saw one entirely different ending. And people were confused because they'd be like, I saw that movie and like I just hated the ending. And like, well, the people that saw it in the theater were like, well, what do you mean? Like, this is how it ended, and it's completely different. So
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell you which one that I actually prefer. I guess I probably prefer the happier ending just because like I'm a mark for shit like that. But yeah, it's got both of the endings on here. And I think that that's why a lot of people have a problem with this film, is because one ending is really dark. Um, but it could just be me. Here's the thing though. Ultimately, John Cusack is really, really good in this movie. Very like gives a very kind of like solid, understated performance. Samuel L. Jackson's really, really good in it. It's John Cusack's probably 90% of the film though. Um, I just think it has like such a great vibe to it, and like it's actually scary. Like the shit that happens to him, like while he's in the room, like you can't believe that like they would actually put it in a mainstream movie like this, because it's just so kind of cruel. And you could see how like it would push somebody over the edge if they were to like see shit like this. That it actually really works. I think there's not a lot of crazy, you know, over the top CG and special effects and stuff like that in it, like a lot of movies this time period. There's a few set pieces, but not much. It's mostly like acting, just kind of character study stuff. But with
Yeah.
this version, you get the actual 4K. Then you get the art cards. Look at that.
Was Art Carney in? No,
Oh,
he's already dead by that point.
we'll go through the damn art cards. Look here. Oh, God, it's upside down. Oh,
Those also
Oh
work
my
as
God.
postcards if anybody, wants to use them as such. Just put your stamp on there and write a
Yeah,
letter
yeah.
to somebody. Yeah.
Check them all out. And like a metric shit ton of special features, man. I couldn't even like name all of them, but
Yeah, you could go to the Imprint Film site and check all those out because they always do an outstanding
The-
job on.
the two
all of
biggest
it.
ones for me would be like it's got all the archival interviews and stuff from when the movie came out with Cusack, because he's not got any new stuff really. But also it's got both endings. And I think the endings, like, let me make sure, yeah, they're on two separate discs. Yeah. So you can watch the theatrical cut on one disc, and then you can watch the director's cut on another disc. So,
And you said that
one
he
of my
does have
favorites.
and did you say that he does have a cute sack?
Yeah, his sack is lovely. It's perfectly manicured. 1408 though from Vision. Buy it now. If this is number 276 out of 2,000 of these that were ever made.
Whoa, baby. All right. Very cool. Yeah, Samuel Jackson's also in that. Also, one that I was looking forward to, Uncle Bill, because we do have the Cruel Summer Slashback coming up. It's debuting on the 21st. It's going to be huge. But we're going to give you a little bit of a sneak preview here with a slasher movie. And this is one that we were talking about off and on for a few weeks. You guys like it. Me, not so much. But I was willing to go back and rewatch it. We're talking about this on the Friday Night Live shows a couple of times, I think. This is Terror Train from 1980. Roger Spottiswoode directed this. And our girl JLC, Jamie Lee Curtis, did 3 horror films that year. The Fog, Prom Night, and Terror Train. And Terror Train was my least favorite of the 3. I think that I'd said that. But it'd been a few years since I'd seen it, so I went back and rewatched it. And we're going to talk about it, boys. Terror Train.
I'm really curious about what you thought about this movie now.
Okay, let's talk about the plot of the movie. And this is very much like a lot of slasher movies of the time. They're almost all exactly like this. But there's a bunch of medical students, pre-med or whatever. And there's the nerdy kid in class. They planned a prank on him, right? He thinks he's going to get some of JLC's poon. But he's really going to go dancing with a corpse, pretty much.
Yeah.
For one thing, where would even medical students in 1980 have free access to corpses? Would that be a thing?
Maybe. Like, I know they have to study, like, the cadavers and shit, right?
Okay, but they kidnap a corpse.
Kidnap a corpse.
Lay the
Get over here,
corpse.
corpse.
Lay the corpse in bed, ready for the what? What was the killer's name in this? It was something goofy. I can't remember.
I don't even know.
It doesn't matter, I don't guess. But he kind of goes nuts after that.
Mhm.
After he sees that it's a corpse and not JLC's 22-year-old poon that he thought he was going to get. It didn't work out for him. So we fast forward 3 years later, and the students are celebrating New Year's on this train. It's a big party. They're all dressed up in costumes. Ben Johnson is the conductor, and they're going on a night-long ride of terror on the train. There's someone else on board, a mystery man that boards with the students wearing a Gene Shalit mask. And he begins changing costumes as the movie goes along and slashing and slicing and dicing and everything. And there's not really, David Copperfield is in this. Why? I don't know. I mean, he's kind of playing himself. He plays a magician in it. Right. And
I mean, you gotta admit, it's a pretty big part of the plot.
it is. And this is something else too. And I don't want to get in trouble over this or anything. What was like the fascination with transsexuals back then? Like what started that?
I think Psycho, not necessarily like transsexuals, but like, I think the idea
Cross-dressing and whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what you...
like that was somehow like one of the scariest things was like a guy,
dressed as a
dressed
woman.
up as a female. And like, you can see it in like Hide and Go Shriek. You can see it in, oh God, what was that?
Fatal Games, I think was
Fatal
another one.
Games.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, it's all you're right. It's all over the place in slasher movies around that
Kenny
time.
was
Well,
the guy that went crazy. Kenny.
Kenny,
How could I
yeah,
forget it?
Sleepaway Camp for that matter. I mean, I'm not sure how you
Right.
classify Sleepaway Camp, but like in terms of that, but yeah, so like that was a big fear, and that's like that underlying kind of homophobic fear that I guess was really rampant around that time period too.
But I mean, it's like, it just seemed like in mainstream society that was not a thing at all. Like you didn't hear about, like it was just odd that was out there that
Was the
much.
gimmick. Yeah.
Yeah, back then. There were a lot of generic throwaway actors in this, man. It was like almost like soap opera actors, which I'm just guessing that a lot of these people did soap operas after this movie because I never saw them in much else. David Copperfield wasn't even that well known up to this point. He had done some stuff, but yeah, he'd definitely not become like the household name yet. So that's kind of interesting that they chose him to be in this movie. This movie, I feel exactly the same way about, though, really. It's very slow. It's very generic. Not much interesting shit happens in it. I want to like it. If I hadn't said that before, like, the feel of the movie is cool. Like, I like when they show the train at night going, it's dark, it's snowy and everything, and that kind of sets the vibe. But ultimately, like, it's just 96 minutes of not much going on. A lot of people were saying it was like Halloween on a train. No, not really. I mean, it's more or less a generic slasher movie on a train that like just it kind of like slogs around. It waits.
Yeah, this is where we're going to have to pull like a Siskel and Ebert, because like I wholeheartedly disagree with this, because I think that Prom Night is that movie where nothing happens. And like, but I feel like with Terror Train, there's a kill like about every 15, 20 minutes. Like, and at least like it's progressively going, with that ratio of like a kill every so often. Prom Night, ain't shit happens in Prom Night until like the last 15 minutes. And just like barely.
Well, ain't nothing ever happens in Terror Train. My cat's biting my fucking leg.
Get him. Get him. That cat knows that.
She really likes Terror Train.
Yeah. I like the twist ending too. Like before I knew what the twist ending was, like I like the idea that like the killer is like in front of you the whole time, but you don't know it. And if you knew, I mean, it would make sense to you if you were just paying attention enough to kind of like look, but you don't. It's
I will say
back and like,
the look of I guess the actor that played Kenny was kind of creepy looking, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how to really explain it, but I guess it was just that guy's look in particular. Jamie Lee Curtis was fucking hot as hell in this movie, though. I will say that, like this time period. But yeah, man, I kind of still, personally, I still feel the same about it. Now, there was a bit of a controversy. I know that Christian made a whole video about how bad this looked in 4K. I don't know if he got a disc that was just faulty, or I mean, I didn't think this was outstanding transfer, but I didn't see anything unusually bad about it. To me, it looked fine. I mean, a movie like this isn't going to shine in 4K anyway, I wouldn't think, but I thought Kino did a fantastic job, like as usual, with these releases. I love how they go back to the original artwork, all the way down to the logo on the the font logo and stuff. I mean, if you're a fan of this movie, this is the best version that you're ever going to see of this movie. A lot of people, they think that the Blu-ray is good enough, go for it. I understand. Some movies don't need upgraded, but I know a lot of people probably never picked up like the Scream Factory Blu-ray, I think. So go for it, man. I think that one's been out of print for a while.
One thing about this movie is everybody in the world released a Blu-ray of it. So
right.
if you want it, you can find multiple different Blu-rays, which I
Yeah,
still
so-
think that the who was it that released it? Was it
Ronin?
Scorpion?
Was it Ronin or
Ronin?
Scorpion? Or,
It's one of them.
yeah.
I still think that one's probably the better one to get.
But yeah, this one is good. I enjoyed it. I do like the artwork on it. And also, we got this in recently from Kino, and I thought this was kind of fun that they're doing this. A couple of the recent 80s horror movies on DVD as a double feature, Death Ship and Terror Train.
That's
On,
wild to see that.
yeah, DVD. I don't even know when the last time Kino did a DVD, but one disc, both movies on one DVD. So that is out now as well. I don't know, man. DVD, they say it may be making a comeback as a format. What do you think?
I keep hearing that. I mean, I think a lot of people now are like looking at it like the DVD is superior because it could potentially last longer than Blu-ray. The way that the two are made and things like that, and they just think it's a better, I guess, viewing way, or however you want to say it, like a better thing. Because I've heard a lot of people recently say that they don't think Blu-ray was that big of an improvement over DVD, which I think is weird. Actually, because back in the day, like I was one of the biggest kind of like doubters of Blu-ray, but there's a fucking noticeable difference, man. Like there's
Right.
a
Well,
really noticeable difference.
I think the difference is, though, is there's a lot of movie fans that never upgraded to Blu-ray. That could be part of the audience as well.
Yeah.
Where you're like, hey man, cool, I can get Death Ship and Terror Train together and it works with my player. And I understand that because people buy thousands and thousands and thousands of movies. And for little movies like Death Ship or Terror Train, for a lot of people, DVD is good. DVD is fine. So we'll have to see that. I thought that was an interesting one that Kino was re-releasing on DVD. So we'll see if they do any more. But again, Terror Train, you can get the 4K out, 4K Blu-ray combo, and there's the DVD version along with Death Ship, which I think we reviewed on the previous show.
Unearthed Films. I love Unearthed Films. Like I think that they're one of the most independent and most kind of like brutal and badass labels that are out there. They release shit that nobody else will touch with a 10-foot pole, and like it's mostly like related to special effects. This one, God bless them. This is 2001's Cradle of Fear that stars the fucking members of Cradle of Filth.
What is it? Ronnie James Filth? Is that his name?
Yeah. It's Lemmy Filthmeister. Did you know that?
Oh, is that who it is? Okay.
Yeah.
No, it was, the last name was Filth, but I couldn't remember,
Here's the weird thing about this, though, that I had no idea until I watched. Like, this is an anthology. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know why I wasn't expecting, a Cradle of Filth British style kind of anthology. And it's 3 stories with like a wraparound, just like, back in the day when they would do that style of movie. Danny Filth. I don't know who Danny Filth is. I swear to God, that's his name.
He's a filthy motherfucker.
I mean, I think he's the lead singer. I guess. I'm guessing.
Do they play 7-string bass guitar?
Yeah. They are that kind of band. For real, though.
Okay.
He's primarily the star of this. Like, the other members of Cradle of Filth are in this movie, but they're basically just in it for, like, cameos and shit.
They're in it to win it.
Yeah. And it borrows a lot of stuff from, like, real-life serial killers. Like, the lead murderer's name is Kemper. And Yeah. So, you know, here's another thing.
This is good. Did you enjoy this?
Here's another thing, though. It's shot on video.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's shot on video. The budget is very suspect. I'm not entirely sure what the budget this is.
Not enough.
Not enough to make you want to watch it. But
That's the thing about unearthed films, man. Sometimes like they'll have stuff that'll absolutely blow you away. Where you're like, what the hell? I've not heard anybody talk about this. And then sometimes like it's pretty much almost exactly like what you're expecting.
yeah, I feel like this one is just for so many different reasons, like not for me. I love anthologies, but I just, the idea of like the real main narrative of this is about like an imprisoned serial killer named Kemper, after Edmund Kemper, of course. Something about it is just, it doesn't work for me. There's a lot of goth inspired stuff in it. It's very like emblematic of like that time period, like the early 2000s when that was like a big thing to have going on. The Marilyn Manson / Cradle of Field / whatever that shit was. So if you're a fan of that, if you're a fan of
Lamb
him,
Fetus or whatever those bands are called.
Lamb Fetus is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goat Whore.
My Dying Orgy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Urethra Franklin.
Franklin, yeah. Oh fuck. Yeah. If you're a fan of that, then
Dude, like there's just a whole subgenre of horror fans that are into that shit. And that's perfectly fine. But that is not us. Do you remember we had
they're the same like people that will like hang themselves from the ceiling by titty clamps and stuff like that.
Do you remember the little ditty about Median and Diane back in the day? Same sort of people.
I do, yeah. Median and Diane.
It's like, yeah, I mean, if you want to color your hair dark black and pierce every damn thing that you've got, go for it. But I mean, I'm just that guy that kind of walks in silently and doesn't really want anybody to notice me. So,
but if you want to notice this, you pick it up at Unearthed Films. Here's what it's got on it. Disc one's the features and extras, making of Cradle of Fear, important words, the special German DVD making of Thingy something for Cradle of Fear. That's really what it says. And a bunch of Alex Chandon's, who's the director's short films, a whole ton of them on here. And yeah, this is something that you'll never probably see anywhere else except Unearthed Films. God bless them.
The Cradle of Fear.
Yeah.
So, continuing on, though, we do have more from Kino Lorber, another one from their Studio Classics line. It's a movie that I haven't seen in many years. And I was kind of curious to revisit. It's Harry and the Hendersons from 1987. They did this in 4K. A 4K of Harry and the Hendersons, Uncle Bill.
What a world we live in.
This is insane. Directed by William Deere. That's his name. William Deere. And this is just like, I almost think that they wrote this in a fucking boardroom meeting or something. Like they were looking at like, were Sasquatch popular at this point in time? Possibly. Like,
I fucking guess, but like what was going on that was like Sasquatch heavy at that time?
I don't know. I don't know if they were studying the Patterson Gimlin film again. It was like, oh, this has to happen. This is real. But anyway, the Henderson family are on a wilderness vacation, a retreat, if you will. It's coming to an end. But as they're on their way home, which the family is, John Lithgow is the dad, and Melinda Dillon from A Christmas Story is the mother, which is, that's crazy because I think she was like 10 years older than John Lithgow. And then they've got a younger boy and an older daughter. But yeah, they're driving back, and John Lithgow's character accidentally hits Bigfoot, and they think it's a bear at first, and he goes out, and of course, it's fucking Bigfoot, and they decide, and let me tell you something. There is no fucking way that the little wife, John Lithgow, and those two kids lifted that big goddamn Bigfoot up on the. I saw it. I was like, are they saying that they lifted that damn thing up over the damn car and loaded it on there? Not once, but 2 different times. But anyway,
Look,
it's a
Bigfoot. But it's about a fucking Bigfoot living in like
That's
a house
true.
with a bunch of people.
It's true.
You have to suspend some disbelief there.
But I think they live in like Utah or somewhere, like in a big city.
They're Mormon. Is there a Mormon Bigfoot
Yes,
that comes to
that's
your
what it
door,
is.
tries to talk to you about the?
I think they said it was Utah, but it don't matter where the hell it was at. They take the Bigfoot home. Of course, he's still alive,
That Bigfoot's
and
like,
he's.
let me in. It's Book of Mormon. I want to talk to you about it.
They think he's dead. He's still alive, of course, and he's wandering around their fucking house. And it's just like goofy shit after goofy shit throughout the entire movie. And like I had fun with it, but at the same time, I'm like, wow, this is like extremely dated. Like, you don't see, that's the thing, you don't see this movie on anywhere. Have you noticed that? Like they don't
No.
play it. Like it's almost like they're embarrassed of it,
It used to be incredibly popular though, man. Like for a long time. As a matter of fact, like movies like that were really, and like so, like Alf and shit like that.
Yeah,
was really popular for about 5 years. Like different things.
What I'm wondering is, maybe they were like Alf came out like a year earlier and maybe was a big hit, so they were kind of trying to maybe launch something else, similar to that.
Yeah, I feel like all of this probably stems from E.T. Like just that idea of like some sort of like alien creature or something coming, like living with a family, like a normal family, and what would happen.
Yeah. But of course there's a Bigfoot poacher that's looking for Bigfoot as well. And the Hendersons was originally wanting to kind of exploit the Bigfoot, and the Bigfoot escapes and is wandering around. I think it's Seattle now. I'm thinking back. It's not Utah. And it abruptly like has a conclusion towards the end. It's not a. It's just one of those goofy like 80s movies. The Bigfoot in it looks so fucking goofy too. But it does work for the movie. The odd thing about this is as Rick Baker did the Bigfoot in this, and he said that was his proudest like achievement. Well, I don't know if it's his favorite character that he created in a movie was the Bigfoot in Harry and the Hendersons.
I just I can find that so weird to me for some reason.
Yeah.
Is you talking about a guy that didn't he do the werewolf in American Werewolf in London?
He did all kinds of shit.
And like, I mean that Bigfoot's fine and all, but shit, man.
Well, it was his favorite, so I guess there's no right or wrong.
Oh,
But
there's definitely right or wrong.
this movie, I don't recall. I mean, I guess it did okay in the theaters. I don't know. But I mean, it's fine. It's fun to go back and rewatch it. They did do a new audio commentary with the director that's on here, William Deere, and it's moderated by Douglas Harsdale, and audio commentary by Hats Off Entertainment's Joe Ramone, a archival audio commentary with the director, 3 featurettes, deleted scenes, theatrical trailer. Transfer on this is fine. It didn't look out of this world outstanding or anything, but this isn't kind of like an 80s time capsule too. It is still fun. I'll give it credit. And there was a TV show that was a spinoff of this as well that only lasted one
I
season.
never saw that show, but I want to see it really bad. I just want to go through some of Rick Baker's filmography while we're on this real quick. So he did American Werewolf in London. He did the makeup in the Fun House, the design and everything of the killer. Did that. He did Videodrome. He did Thriller. He did Starman. He did Harry and the Hendersons. He did Coming to America. All the different makeups that Eddie Murphy wears.
Yep. He did all of the Eddie Murphy stuff, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did the Nutty Professor and all that stuff too. Did Batman Forever. I mean, all like Gremlins. I'm sorry, like Gremlins 2. I mean, he did just about anything you can think of that was big around that time.
Yep.
Especially when you get into the early 2000s too.
But Harry and the Hendersons was his favorite.
Now, wow, because he did like 50 like big makeups like that you would know probably. And that's his favorite. So, okay.
Also, Kevin Peter Hall was the actor that played Harry from Harry and the Hendersons, and he also played
Predator.
He played Predator too, big tall guy.
I'm just gonna tell you. I'm just gonna be honest with you about it. This is the Steelbook 4K Blu-ray of Top Gun.
Oh yeah, it's a nice Steelbook too. Look at that.
It is really nice. Like I'll tell you that right now.
If you ever met Tom Cruise, that would be a killer autograph to get on the front of it. That would look killer.
Problem is, I can't
paint pen.
I can't stand Tom Cruise. Is part of the problem. But let me tell you something, though. I'll tell you something right now about this movie.
Have you warmed up to it?
No. But this looks insane. Like this fucking transfer on this, I don't know what. Like, this is probably a transfer from another like 4K or something, but like I've never seen it before. It looks unreal. As a matter of fact, I couldn't. It's one of those ones where you put it on and you're like, can't believe you're watching a movie from the 80s. Like it looks like you're watching a movie from now. It's just been like I don't know. But I was amazed. I mean, so the movie itself is one that like I watched way too many times when I was a kid and probably burnt myself out on it. And they also had that game that I played too. I think the name of it was Afterburner. Was that it? That was like basically a rip off of Top Gun.
There was a Top Gun game as well, and it was freaking impossible. Do you remember that?
That was Nintendo? When we had to land.
Yeah.
On like that little I never.
You could never land.
No. But yeah, the movie was kind of a huge hit at that time period and really like put Tom Cruise on the map. I'm pretty sure. I mean, Risky Business and stuff like that came before it, but I don't think this made him like a huge star.
Oh yeah.
It's the story of Maverick Mitchell and Goose Bradshaw, which I never knew his last name, to be honest, till right now, who are kind of
his last name was Gooseland.
Gooseland. Yeah. They're these big shot kind of jet pilots that are working in the military and basically having a pissing contest with one another about who's the biggest badass macho guy there. And you got the Iceman played by Val Kilmer, and you got fucking, shit ass
sassafras.
shit ass sassafras. And it's a fighter pilot movie, man. I don't know. Like, there's not a whole lot to it. It's got a great soundtrack. I'll say that for it. Kenny Loggins. It's just for some reason a movie I could never fully like get into. I don't know why. It made like $300-400 million, but I just
That was one of the very rare movies too that they did like a sequel for it, and they said the sequel was actually really good. I never did see it, but
that's what I heard too. But I mean, if I don't like this one, I know I'm gonna like that one.
But not.
No, I won't.
Top Gun is one of those movies though that is so 80s. Like what year was that? 87, 86, 87?
Had to be like one. Yeah.
It just feels like that time period, right? Anytime that you put it on, you just go back there for the movie.
Only for a day.
If only for a day. And it's one of the very few movies that's like that, in my opinion. Like there's a few that can kind of take you back to the time period when it was made. And I always thought Top Gun was one of those. And like you were saying, great soundtrack. It kind of made Tom Cruise's career after that. It was his biggest, maybe still even this day, biggest role, wouldn't you say? Like it's the one that he's most famous for, I think.
Yeah, I think so at this point. I mean, especially since that sequel made like $1 billion. That's probably he'll probably always be remembered for this.
Yeah, I mean he would go on to do like Mission Impossible and stuff like that, but ultimately, like I think that the Top Gun movie, more people probably recognize him from that.
It's just one of those cultural kind of like phenomenons that happen every now and then, where like it's just the right actor with the right movie at the exact right time. And Top Gun was one of those popcorn movies that just made the 80s. And there were so many movies like that at that time. They don't even really exist anymore, but yeah.
Top Gun, bulls, the dangers.
So that's what I got to say.
Great looking 4K
Gun.
though, you said, right? Paramount. Is that Paramount that brought that out?
That's a good question. I'm going to tell you something though.
It's a Walmart exclusive steelbook. I do know that because there ain't too many places that actually carry them in the store.
I think it is Paramount. Yeah. So you get the digital copy and everything in there too. But like, man, I really honestly still can't believe how killer it looks. And if there ever was a movie that could benefit from, UHD, it's probably Top Gun, because the set pieces and shit in that and the design of the movie is insane. So when you see all that and that kind of like high, like UHD, it's crazy. It would be a good disc to just like put on if you wanted to show people a new TV or something. People
Right.
would shit
Good
their pants.
demo disc.
Yeah.
So that is Top Gun Steelbook exclusive. Again, it's Walmart exclusive. Get on that shit, man. Again, if you're ever, like, I don't know, they've got everybody doing these conventions nowadays. If Tom Cruise ever does a convention, like that would be like one of the, as far as physical media goes, that'd be a perfect signature piece. But anyway, speaking of signature pieces, Uncle Bill, if anybody ever meets Jitters in person, this right here is the one that you want to get him to sign. Man.
Jitters book. Jitters book.
Jitters from 101 Films over in the UK. This is Blu-ray exclusive to them. I think the US is only getting the DVD. So this is the one to get. Jitters from 2026, a British horror movie directed by Mark Zammit. Not damn it, but Zammit. And honestly, clown horror is a big thing, Uncle Bill. And I was just assuming this is along the lines of like a Terrifier or some sort of slasher clown movie, but it's totally not. You could say it's false advertising, whatever else, but this it's got a very interesting plot, if anything. And we may see other people do similar plots to this in the future, especially with, how rampant AI is being used nowadays. But anyway, a detective is investigating the bizarre death of a young girl named Tiffany, who, after like talking to the doctors and everything, they say that she had died from fright. Uncle Bill, have you ever heard of that? Somebody dying, just being scared to death.
No.
And a doctor actually says so in this movie. She died of fright. And he also learns of this addicting, immersive online game known as Jitters. So if you think Jitters is just this clown here, no. This clown is the host of Jitters.
So this is basically brain scan.
So, I mean, kind of, but it's updated for like the modern era. So Jitters is a dark web game that uses AI to, basically, like, how you can search for something on Google, right? And then it continuously pops up ads for that same shit, like on everything that you look on. So this one is like cherry picking everything that you're the most afraid of and is putting that in the game. And it's killing people, Uncle Bill. It's killing people. It's British. This is a British movie. I would say it's British AI horror. Is that going to be a subgenre? AI horror?
I hope not. Jesus.
So this is kind of like, it's got a little bit of a dash of the Saw films in it. There's a couple more deaths that come along related to the game, and some of which were online streamers and influencers that were killed. This movie, though, like, it's got a great idea. I think that using AI and that same sort of thing, but trying to make a more entertaining movie would be kind of interesting. Like, this one has good ideas, but yeah, the execution is not the greatest. This is barely 90 minutes. It feels like you're there for like 9 days watching it. It's not very exciting. The look of the clown is a lot better than actually just seeing him on screen talking and stuff. But yeah, the cover would kind of lead you to believe it's along the lines of like Terrifier or something like that. It's not that at all. It is well made. They had some interesting ideas, but there's not enough that goes on in this movie to hold your interest for very long. But yeah, 101 Films has this out now. The only special feature on this thing is the theatrical trailer. And I don't even know if this thing made it to theaters, but it's an interesting one. Like I said, I kind of like the concept of using AI and an online game, and he's going after some of the influencers and people online and stuff. That's kind of interesting. It's something that I don't think has been done very much, but with this movie, damn it, Mark Zammit, it didn't work for me, brother. But yeah, Jitters is out now from 101 Films. Check it out if it sounds interesting to you.
So the last one that I have probably be the most controversial one for a couple of reasons, because we've talked about this one particular movie throughout the entire span of DEADPIT from 2005 on, and I have never in that time period ever, to my knowledge, watched the sequel until now.
Oh, no.
That's what's going to be funny about this review, I think. Well, not funny, but probably surprising. This is the Cabin Fever collection with the, look at that. That's probably like one of the coolest covers.
Yeah, I think that's a big seller for them, actually. It's one of their big sellers. The Cabin Fever collection, yeah.
So it's got Cabin Fever, Cabin Fever, Cabin Feverables,
Cabin Peter.
Cabin Fever. Got the unrated version of Cabin Fever. It's got Cabin Fever 2, the 2009 version, and Cabin Fever, whatever the hell that thing was that they rebooted in 2016. All on this collection.
So pretty much the complete collection aside. I think there was like one other Cabin Fever movie that's not on there somebody was talking about. But you can probably find it for like $3 on eBay and add it to it if you want to.
It's got a book. It's only like a picture book though, so you don't have to worry about it. Really.
Does it smell good?
Yeah. It smells exactly like you would think it did. Yep. And it's got a poster, which I wasn't expecting this.
Are you going to hang it up?
I probably will. It's pretty killer. It's just it's the original movie poster, which is not a bad design, really.
No. That's a pretty good size one too, looks like.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
So you get all that. And the films.
What do they have the films in?
Multiple different versions.
Oh, look at that.
So, okay. Cabin Fever is pretty basic. If you don't know how I feel about Cabin Fever by now, then God help you. But I've never really seen the unrated version of Cabin Fever. I guess because I just didn't care enough to like search it out or anything. I mean, I'm sure it's been around before, but this
I'll say this, Cabin Fever, looking back on it now, is the best thing that Eli Roth did up until Thanksgiving. I'll say that.
Yes, I would agree with that. I still don't like it. I still think it's goofy as hell. And like, it really is like tone wise, it's all over the place. Like it wants to be like a silly frat kind of comedy, dark comedy. At the same time, it wants to be like a serious, you know.
Well, wouldn't you say that technically it's pretty well made though? It looks good. The effects are really good in it.
No. I wouldn't say that.
You don't like the effects in it? It's K&B, I think.
I don't think that like, well, I don't think it's well made. I don't think, I guess the effects are okay. And like the acting's really bad, especially that Ryder Strong fucking guy is just bad.
Yeah. I don't think he had much of a career after that.
Pretty much everybody in this movie is kind of bad, honestly. Like they're just either under or overacting all over the place. I just don't like that movie at all. I think it's pretty awful. Here's the weird thing. Like Cabin Fever 2, I really liked. Like Cabin Fever 2.
And you had never seen it before.
I had never seen it. I know I'd never seen it before. But I watched it and I was like, this is like 1,000 times better than Cabin Fever. I mean, you know, it doesn't have the budget or anything, I don't think, of the first Cabin Fever. It doesn't, it just has a shit ton more like dark humor and gore than once this movie starts, it never stops. Like Cabin Fever 2, I mean, like it just is like one gore gag like after another.
It's like when them dogs bark, they won't stop, right? Hate when that happens.
You can edit them out of it, I think. I think they're done. But yeah, like Cabin Fever 2, the thing about it is like it's like nonstop kind of trauma. It's kind of like what trauma really wants to be now. But for whatever reasons, budgets or anything else like that can't be. Just really over the top gore gags and like one set piece after another. Like, I just loved it, man. I thought it was really, really fun.
And then the remake of Cabin Fever from 2016. What did we ever? Because we weren't really doing the show then. I wonder what the circumstances were. Why did they decide to go ahead and just remake that movie so soon? 2016 was a good 12, 13 years after the original. Was anybody calling for that?
I wish I could tell you. And I tried to watch it and I could not get through it. Like,
Wasn't it one of those IFC films or something like that? Like a really, really low budget?
that would make sense. Like, I
think
really
it
look to
is.
see.
I think it's like one of those real, real low budget studios.
But it's so bad, man. Like, just it's almost like the Cabin Fever version of the Black Christmas remake, the newest Black Christmas remake, like the 2016 one of that too, or 2019 one of that.
Yeah.
It looks like that, and that it's filmed like a Lifetime original movie or something. I couldn't do it. I tried, but I tapped out. But like, the really surprising thing about this to me was the fact that like Cabin Fever 2 might be like one of my new favorite gore.
Well, that was like
splatter
Ty
comedy.
West's first movie, right?
I mean, yeah, and that kind of makes sense because you feel like the guy kind of knows what he's doing, even though it's like really early on. But to me, that movie is so much more enjoyable than the first one, man. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. Probably not, because people are fucking like stuck up that movie's ass so much. But I love the second one. So yeah, it's a great collection though. It has like audio commentaries with everybody and their grandmother for the first one. It has a whole making of featurette for the first one. Chatting with Eli.
That's always fun.
We're never gonna get to do that. But
well, the ice cream man is coming up, so we can try, but I can't promise you much.
You've also got behind the scenes for the other two movies, a gore featurette reel for the second movie, all kinds of like special features, and all that other stuff that I already showed in this wonderful big box edition that is limited to 2,000. Look at you.
It's a very hard box too.
Look at it, limited right there.
Yeah.
And this is like one of my favorite like looking boxes that we've got.
Yeah, the lenticular boxes are always great.
Yeah. So that's Cabin Fever. Cabin Fever Collection. I'm just happy that there was something in this that I really enjoyed. And it wasn't the first movie.
Well, how did the first movie look in 4K though?
Insanely good, as did like I think the second one's just a Blu-ray, but like it also looked really, really good too. What is the second one's a Blu-ray. The remake, re-envisioning whatever one's a Blu-ray as well. But to me, like the one to really watch is the unrated 4K of Cabin Fever.
So the last thing of the evening, and this has been by far the longest episode of Dead Pit is watching of all times, for sure, is I was really looking forward to this because I've seen all of the other Ilsa movies except this one. This was the one that was left out of the Anchor Bay set. This is the final Ilsa movie, The Wicked Warden from 1977. And this movie starts off like every Ilsa movie should start off, Uncle Bill, with plenty of titties in a group shower scene. Within probably the first 5 minutes of the movie, you see a plethora of big-breasted women showing their goods. And Ilsa's amazing Hooters of glory and all. Jess Franco made this movie, though. This is the only one that Jess Franco did. And this initially was not even an Ilsa movie. It was Greta the Wicked Warden, I think was the name of it. So, but in the U.S., they had the rights to do another Ilsa movie. So they pretty much just changed the title. I don't think they ever really say her name in this movie. If they did, I missed it. But anyway, in this one, Ilsa is operating a psychiatric clinic in South America. And there is a woman who infiltrates the psychiatric center, which they only take women that have gigantic tits in this psychiatric tent. Luckily, the woman...
That's in their intake. They're like,
yeah,
got big old titties.
Aside from being awfully nervous at the nervous hospital, has a magnificent rack. And she's kind of wanting to find her sister who went missing at the hospital. Ilsa in this also is a redhead. She's not, it's the only one where she's got red hair. She's a big-breasted ginger kid in this. But her gimmick in this is that she's forcing the inmates to have sex with each other. Like there's male inmates and there's female inmates. We mainly see the female ones, thank God. And they sell, X-rated tapes. That's how she makes, that's her side gig, aside from being the warden at this psychiatric hospital. So yeah, I mean, this is pure fucking trash, but I do enjoy it. There's some lines in this like wash my poodle, lick my culo is in this.
Lick my Kool-Aid.
You know what culo is Spanish for ice.
Killer.
Oh shit. And there's a scene where a woman's forced to eat ass in this. So some good shit. Dirty ass too, by the way.
Forced to eat ass. Forced to eat ass.
This Ilsa movie is not as good as the other ones. It's not really even an Ilsa movie. It's fine for what it is. It's cool to finally see this because I'd heard people talk about it, like especially the lick my culo line. I'd heard people mention that for years and never actually seen the movie. I mean, it's okay. I think if you've got the other ones, you want to get this one. Diane Thorne had some amazing assets back in the day. Just absolutely beautiful. And there is a pretty cool end sequence with her, what happens to her at the end of the movie. But yeah, I mean, this transfer looks really kind of bad though too. So I don't know what kind of a budget they had when making this movie. But of all the Ilsa movies that I've seen in 4K, this is by far the weakest transfer. Very washed out and just doesn't really look like a 4K. There is quite a bit of extra features on this. There's a couple of different audio commentaries, one by our boy, film historian Troy Howarth, who, that's his full-time gig doing these things. There's an archival commentary with Diane Thorne and Howard Marr that's narrated by Martin Lewis. A Thorne by any other name, Stephen Thrower on Ilsa the Wicked Warden. And part 2 of the conversation with Tim Lucas and author Stephen Bissett on Ilsa the Wicked Warden. I mean, this is just pure fucking trash, but it's, what it is. I mean, I don't think it's going to let you down in that respect. If you're wanting a pristine 4K of it, though, I don't think this is it. So I don't know what happened with the transfer, but this was the weakest of all the Ilsa movies, both as a movie and the transfer of the 4K. But it is out, so if you want it, you can get on it.
Was that was the one that was never available too, right?
I think another company eventually released it.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'd never seen it before. It was not very easy to come by. That's for sure. But now it is, and now all of the Ilsa films are in 4K thanks to Kino Lorber. This is part of the Kino Cult line. This is Kino Cult 48. Ilsa the Wicked Warden. So, man, that wraps up a ginormous 2-hour+ episode.
Oh,
Dead
God.
Pit is watching. What in the hell's wrong with us?
That was too much. We don't need to not ever do that again.
No, we're not going to. It'd been a while since we did one, so we had a lot. So we should try to do another one at least in a couple of weeks or something, maybe. A short one, 35, 40 minutes would be perfect. But guys, that is it for the show, episode 30. We have the new Dead Pit is Watching shirts. If anybody is interested, on shop.deadpit.com. And this next weekend coming up, the 12th through the 14th, if you see us around, we're giving out these holographic Dead Pit is Watching stickers until we're out of them. So that'll be fun.
So come up and get your sticker, and we promise
your
we won't
goddamn
look
sticker.
at you like you're an idiot. Like I'm sure another person's gonna be there.
I'm out of them fucking stickers. Get out of here.
Get me a cheese plate and get the fuck out of my
Shut up. I'm out of them stickers to get. Anyway, but guys, that is it for the show. We appreciate everybody tuning in, and we will catch you all next go around. And remember that Dead Pit
is watching.
A big thanks goes out to our supporters over at Dead Pit on Patreon.com. You can get hours upon hours of great content, right, Uncle Bill?
There's so many hours of content. We've got reviews. We've got songs. We've got live streams. We've got exclusive streams. We've got non-exclusive streams. We've got streams with all kinds of celebrities and all kinds of different old shows from the past podcast, the initial incarnation of the show. All of that can be yours.
Dead Pit on Patreon.com. Show us a little bit of love. Give us some money because we definitely deserve it. That Patreon page is so killer that you'll rub your bird to it on a nightly basis. It's that good.
You won't be able to contain yourself. You'll have to jerk your bird out and go crazy. I mean, that's how much content that we have. So much content that it's massive, and it will massively smack you in the face.
You'll play with your bird so much, pretty soon you'll be looking around for somebody else's bird to play with.
Hey everybody, it's your favorite Filipino bitch, Miss Slatko Fudd, telling you about shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. And it's the best goddamn deal on horror shirts you will ever see. New shirts, old shirts, all the in-between shirts. God damn it, bulls, go over the shop.deadpit.com. You ain't down with that. You can go to